Imagine this. You're sitting in a steel boat, packed shoulder to shoulder with men you barely know. The ramp in front of you drops, and the world explodes. No music, no slow motion, just chaos. Screams, bullets, blood turning the ocean red, limbs flying, deafening silence, interrupted by sudden detonations. The camera doesn't flinch, and neither can you. This isn't action. This is annihilation. When Saving Private Ryan hit theaters in 1998, audiences weren't prepared. Its opening sequence on Omaha Beach shattered every rule of the war genre. Suddenly, war wasn't heroic. It was horrifying. But how did one scene, just 24 minutes long, redefine how we film violence, realism, and heroism forever? This isn't just Spielberg showing off. It's cinema holding your face in the mud, forcing you to feel what history books can't explain. Let's break down the scene that rewired war cinema, shot by shot. Steven Spielberg didn't just want to make a war film. He wanted to recreate a memory, one soaked in blood, mud, fear, and authenticity. To prepare for the Omaha Beach scene, Spielberg and his team studied military archives, interviewed D-Day veterans, and collaborated with military historians. The goal wasn't style, it was truth. The result? A 24-minute sequence filmed over 4 grueling weeks on Ballinesker Beach in Ireland, using over 1,500 extras, many of them real soldiers. It cost nearly $12 million just for this single scene. The choreography was a logistical nightmare. Boats, explosions, actors, camera rigs, all moving in terrifying harmony. No green screen, no digital blood. Every body drop, every scream, every shell burst was planned and shot on location. Even the uniforms were era-accurate down to the last button. The rifles were authentic. The sand was dyed. And the sound of the waves was recorded live. This wasn't filmmaking. It was field reporting with a camera. Spielberg said he wanted to put the audience in the boots of the soldiers who landed that day. And by doing so, he didn't just recreate D-Day, he resurrected it. What makes the Omaha Beach scene feel so brutal isn't just what you see, it's how you see it. Spielberg and cinematographer Janusz Kamiński broke every traditional war movie rule. Gone were the sweeping crane shots and glorified battlefield tableaus. In their place, handheld chaos. The camera shakes, stumbles, flinches. It's in the surf, underwater, splattered with mud and blood. This wasn't to be stylish. It was to mimic the way a terrified soldier's eyes might dart from threat to threat. You don't observe the scene, you survive it. They shot with a 45-degree shutter angle, much narrower than the standard 180 degrees. The result? Sharp, jittery motion with minimal blur. Every twitch, every splash, every shiver is crisp and unnerving. It's like your nervous system is on edge. Got him! They also stripped down the color palette. By bleaching the film's negative, they created a desaturated, documentary-like tone. The green of uniforms, the red of blood, they pop. But everything else fades into cold grays and browns. It's ugly. It's real. It's unforgettable. Most radically, Spielberg chose to shoot with uncoated lenses. This let in more glare, less polish, making every flare and smudge feel like a mistake caught in real time. This scene wasn't meant to entertain you. It was designed to disorient, to disturb, to drag you through hell with a camera strapped to your shoulder. If the visuals hit your eyes like shrapnel, the sound hits like a panic attack. Spielberg made a radical decision. No music during the landing, no triumphant horns, no tragic strings. Just sound, raw, brutal, relentless. The moment the ramp drops, the ocean erupts in metallic terror. Bullets slice the air with a high-pitched hiss. Explosions rupture the soundscape, followed by deafening silence. It's not just noise, it's psychological warfare. Sound designer Gary Rydstrom crafted layers of chaos. Distant screams, underwater muffling, metal pinging off helmets, all colliding like an auditory car crash. And when Captain Miller's ears ring and everything goes quiet, that brief moment of muted confusion. It's not just a sound effect, it's trauma. It places you inside his disorientation. Even the bullets were designed carefully. They used real gunfire recordings, but filtered them to sound alien and inescapable, like death itself whistling past your ear. Spielberg weaponized silence, too. The sudden absence of sound becomes its own scream, a void louder than any explosion. By stripping away the comfort of a score and cranking up the realism, Saving Private Ryan makes your heartbeat part of the sound design. You don't just hear the war, you feel it in your chest. Most war films introduce heroes with trumpets and slow-motion glory. Saving Private Ryan does the opposite. When the landing craft opens, there's no clear protagonist. No big entrance, no main character energy. Just men, terrified, anonymous, instantly dying. The camera doesn't guide you, it abandons you. You're tossed from one soldier to the next, a man looking for his arm, another screaming for his mother, another drowning beneath gear. No names, no safety. This chaos isn't just visual, it's moral. There's no clean line between courage and terror. One soldier freezes, another vomits, a third runs straight into machine gun fire. Heroism, cowardice, instinct, they blur together in the sand and blood. And when we finally settle on Captain Miller, it's not through a heroic act, it's through shock. His hands tremble, his ears ring. He's just as broken as everyone else. Spielberg strips away the myth of war and leaves us with its contradictions. This isn't good versus evil, it's survival versus annihilation. The genius of the scene lies in how it doesn't ask you to root for anyone. It asks, what would you do if death was this random? When Saving Private Ryan premiered, it didn't just impress critics, it shocked veterans. Many who stormed Normandy themselves said the opening scene was the closest thing they'd ever seen to the real thing. Some even walked out of theaters, overwhelmed by memories the film had violently resurfaced. That reaction wasn't accidental. Spielberg's team consulted historians, studied battlefield reports, and even replicated exact uniforms, weapon loadouts, and landing patterns. The Higgins boats were rebuilt. The terrain was matched. Even the sand on the beach was dyed to reflect Omaha's exact coloring. Everything, from bullet trajectories to soldier formations, was designed for maximum historical accuracy, down to the way the water soaked their gear and dragged them under. Of course, some minor inaccuracies slipped through. Some weapon sounds were dramatized, and not every tactical detail was perfect. But that's not what matters most. What mattered was the feeling, the confusion, the helplessness, the randomness of death. Spielberg didn't just reconstruct a battle, he captured its emotional aftershock, the kind that lasts decades. That's why veterans didn't just recognize the scene, they remembered it.
Sergeant Horvath! You recognize where we are? Right where we're supposed to be, but no one else is! Come on, you brother!
And for audiences who'd only read about D-Day, the film made them feel something closer to the truth than any textbook ever could. After Saving Private Ryan, war films were never the same. Suddenly, directors weren't chasing style. They were chasing realism. The shaky camera, the muted colors, the handheld perspective. once radical, became the new language of battle. You see it in Band of Brothers, which Spielberg produced. You feel it in Hacksaw Ridge, 1970, and even in video games like Call of Duty and Medal of Honor, which literally recreated the Omaha Beach scene shot for shot. And it didn't stop with war. The gritty, immersive style spilled into action cinema, thrillers, even superhero films. Whenever a director wants to make chaos feel real, they borrow from Spielberg's D-Day playbook. But what's more important is what the scene changed in us. It asked audiences to stop watching war and start experiencing it. After this, you couldn't look at war on screen the same way again. It wasn't just about victory, it was about the cost. One scene, 24 minutes, a revolution in how we see war on screen. Spielberg didn't glorify violence. He confronted us with it. And cinema hasn't looked away since. Which scene do you think changed film forever? Drop it in the comments, and if you made it this far, hit subscribe. You've earned it.